Hi, it's Richard Bromley from Charterhouse Auctioneers. We're going to take a bit of a walk through what's coming up in our whopping great big Automobilia auction, along with classic vintage and race motorcycles. Now, for those of you who know us, we should have been over at the Classic TT holding our auction, but obviously pesky COVID-19 has come and thrown a complete giant spanner in the works. So instead, we've got all these wonderful bikes and bits and bobs, and we're going to do an online auction. Now, we've got quite a few bits of Automobilia. I've always loved these great big BP Motor Spirit Union Jack, or Union flag, I suppose, enamel signs. We've got petrol cans here. We've got a few bicycles actually. This is the plastic Volvo bicycle, the Swedish bike from the 1980s. This is all dragged out of a barn down in Cornwall. That's sort of no reserve, 50 to 80 pounds. Also dragged out the same barn was this little Teagle. Now, those of you who are smarter, you know Teagle is a Cornish bike producers. I think they do farm machine or something now. And again, little Teagle engine on this one here. Again, sort of 50 to 80 pounds. Also in the Automobilia, we've got quite a bit of sort of TT related items here, and you can see a couple of 1920s silver replica trophies. Here we go, hard fought and hard won trophies. But going a bit more modern, here we go, and we're onto the bikes now, and we're off with this one here with the ex-Phil Mellor TT winning, the junior TT winning TZ. Here we go, complete with its trophy. Value on that ran about sort of 30 to 35,000 pounds, and yes, it is as good as it looks. Also as good as it looks, this great big gentleman's collection of Triumphs. Here we go. And again, put together over a long period of time now, all beautifully presented and restored. And they value there between sort of £6,000 and £9,000, but a wonderful gentleman's collection. But also the sale, as you'd imagine, we've been out and about, messing about in barns. Well, actually, I suppose technically this time be messing about in sheds. And we've got a 1933 BSA. It's a project, long-term family ownership. Here we go. And obviously being sold for sale without reserve. And I'm sure it'll do well. Other end of the spectrum, we've got Neil McKenzie's carbon fibre race bike here. And there he is giving it some beans. And also a photograph here in the field with a telegraph pole. Obviously, that's nothing to do with it, but actually it just made me laugh and chortle. And there's the bike again, naked, so to speak. Another pioneering bike was the Norton Rotary Classic. There we go. This one is actually over on the Isle of Man. It's a single owner bike. As you can see, it's a little bit sad there. Front tyres a little bit deflated. And that estimate on that ran about sort of the £8,000 to £10,000. Other end of the scale, and back to UK, because we've got bikes up and down throughout the country and across on the Isle of Man. This MV, this wonderful America, the 750. Again, long-term ownership, here we go, and being taken out of slumber now, and estimate on around about the £50,000. We've also got a number of three-wheelers. And we've got here the little Reliant 6 kilowatt little three-wheeler van here, beautifully presented. This one's over at Derby in the museum there. It doesn't form part of the, it forms part of the display, but it's owned privately. We've got a number of bikes which are currently on display in the bike museum there. And again, a great thing, you can get it signed, written with your own logos and bits and pieces, and a great bit of fun there for sort of £7,000 or £8,000. And also in green, and also a little screamer, is a little Van Veen. Here we go. And, I think it must have revved about sort of 11 or 12,000 revolutions per minute. There we go. And nicely presented as well. Also in green, and another great little screamer here, is this Kawasaki 1966. And part of a collection of racing motorcycles, again, all over on the Isle of Man. And again, there's quite a few spares and bits and pieces for peace of mind for you to add into your collections there. For me personally, I've always been a great fan of the Honda 404s. I think it's basically a friend's brother had one when I was younger. This one is again long-term family ownership, and again really low miles. I think it's only done about 17,000 miles. And also long-term ownership and probably quite low miles. This sort of circa 1931 Excelsior. Bought as a project by the owner's father in about 1988, maybe 89. He restored it, no documents, and for £1,500 it looks, kind of quite a bit of fun. Not £1,500 is Jock Taylor's TT and World Championship winning sidecar combination. Here we go. And obviously it's the sort of thing which you keep inside the house, not outside in a barn or a shed or a garage. And this one is actually up in Scotland, an important piece of sidecar history. We're hoping for between sort of 180 and £200,000 on this one. And still on the racing theme, there's this beautiful looking matchless G45. Again, you know, you can have some great fun on this one, can't you? Here we go, beautifully presented and ready to go. Something a little bit different this time. This is actually a 1961 BMW R50. Well, that's actually what it started off life as a project. And then Blitz Motorcycles of Paris, who've done some weird and wonderful customizing, turned into this. And this bike is not entirely unsurprisingly known as the Great Escape. And the value on that around about the 14 to £16,000. And I don't think they do much for that anyhow these days. So representing excellent value for money. Also a project and still another BMW and another combination. Here we go. This is down in Devon, this one. This is a no reserve project and again is generating quite a bit of interest already. Rather unusually, we've got not one but two aerial square fours, so I don't know that makes it a square eight. And we've got a nice one here. The other one is over on the Isle of Man, and that's got its sidecar as well. And they're both round about sort of the £10,000 to £12,000. And again, we've got a Ducati here, the 900, the Supersport. Again, I think this is just a single owner bike. Rode it for about 10 years and then when he just put it in the back of the garage and enjoyed. I think he bought some Suzukis after that as well. He enjoyed the same sort of riding. But again, that's quite a nice bike. Good sports bike, highly sought after today. And the Comet, here we go, the Vincent Comet, the Series C. This is a non-matching numbers bike, but still being restored and again beautifully presented. This one is over near Ilfracombe, or as we always know it in my family, is Ilfracombe. And again, sadly, the owner of this is not enjoying the best of health and decided to sell it. And the value on that is around about the £14,000 to £16,000. Next to the little Velocette, the Mac, here we go. This is from the same family ownership as the Honda 404. And I think this is the one family-owned bike from new. I don't think the mileage is right on it here, but again, long-term family ownership. And we seem to talk about ownership a lot, and we've got a Ducati here, the 851 here we go, the 851, and this one has got some quite interesting heritage to it, I suppose. Some of you may or may not like. The first owner was James May, obviously ex-Top Gear, and then he sold it to his best mate Richard Hammond, and I think, as we all know, the other one here, he doesn't really do bikes, does he? So we've not got the trio of Top Gear presenters on it, but estimate on that round about sort of £8,000 to £10,000. So we've got, I think, some of the region of just shy of 100 lots of motorbikes. There's obviously a lot more we could have shown you, but here's just a few of my favourites coming up in the auction.